Is there ever truly a quiet moment in Kanye West's life? Lately, it feels like the drama surrounding him is ramping up by the hour, and the latest whirlwind involves his wife, Bianca Censori, reportedly filing for divorce. The $5 million figure tossed around was just the beginning, because as it turns out, there's no prenup. Suddenly, the stakes are sky high, and the rumors swirling around these developments are so jaw-dropping they'd make anyone question if this relationship was doomed from the start. But that's not where it ends. Kim Kardashian has stepped into the drama with bold claims that Bianca was never just an innocent bystander. Did Bianca really engineer this entire spectacle to cash in on Kanye's fortune, or is she just another one of his casualties? Buckle up, because there's far more to this story than meets the eye. Kanye West, often known for abrupt decisions in both business and personal matters, has never been one to shy away from the spotlight. The exact timeline of his relationship with Bianca is murky. Some claim they met through Yeezy's creative projects, while others whisper they were involved long before the public even suspected Kim and Kanye's marriage was in danger. Yet, what really shocked everyone was just how quickly Kanye and Bianca seemed to go from secret acquaintances to walking down the aisle. It was almost as if one day she was the mysterious new designer at Yeezy, and the next she was Mrs. West. No matter how anybody slices it, their path to the altar was anything but conventional. Rumors suggest Bianca was Kanye's confidant long before Kim was out of the picture, which threw a dark cloud over their relationship from day one. Still, the biggest twist so far has been the revelation that Kanye never made Bianca sign a prenup. Early tabloids speculated she would walk away with $5 million if they split, but as more details leaked out, that figure started looking like pocket change compared to what she could really get through a messy legal battle. And sure enough, once Bianca declared she was done, she also made it clear that $5 million wouldn't be enough for her to walk away quietly. It left the world wondering, was she always waiting for this moment? But if the no prenup bombshell wasn't shocking enough, the fallout of their very public Grammys appearance was about to show us just how tangled this relationship truly is. To the outside world, Kanye and Bianca's appearance at the Grammys was a bizarre spectacle. Bianca donned an outfit so revealing that it bordered on scandalous, leading many to question whether she was being forced into it or simply enjoying the attention. By the end of the night, countless social media users were slamming Kanye for making her show so much skin, while others wondered if Bianca was deliberately playing along to craft an image of a powerless spouse. After all, sympathy can be a powerful currency. Yet, one detail that emerged has flipped that entire narrative on its head. Rumors swirling that Bianca had that dress tailored at least 6 times before the big night. If it was so uncomfortable, why repeatedly fix and refit it? This revelation cast a new light on Bianca's motives. Perhaps her shy demeanor in front of the cameras was part of a carefully choreographed plan to make the world believe she was a reluctant participant. And when the divorce news dropped, the public was quick to connect the dots. Maybe Bianca knew that playing the role of a humiliated spouse would pay off handsomely once she took Kanye to court. Adding even more confusion to the mix, Kanye reportedly filed for divorce first back in October of last year, but didn't follow through. So if he had cold feet about this relationship before, why the sudden rush to make it official and then keep it going until it collapsed in spectacular fashion at the Grammys? Observers argue it was all about Kanye trying to prove a point to Kim Kardashian that he could move on faster, bigger, and bolder. But that plan might be backfiring in the most dramatic way possible. Of course, this was only the beginning of their troubles, because right after the Grammys, Kanye launched a controversial line of merchandise featuring a potent symbol of hate. No stranger to controversy, Kanye managed to upend the internet once again when he unveiled shirts featuring a Nazi-related symbol, often referred to in hush-hush tones as a swasa. This isn't the first time Kanye's flirted with inflammatory imagery. He's pushed boundaries countless times, but for many, this was the final straw. Fans, critics, and the general public erupted, with calls for boycotts raining down almost immediately. The repercussions went beyond social media outrage. Shopify, one of the leading e-commerce platforms, took the drastic step of shutting down the official Yeezy online store. This wasn't a minor inconvenience. It was a colossal blow to Kanye's empire, symbolically and financially. And in the midst of it all, Bianca found herself tied to a man who seemed to be going off the deep end yet again. According to sources close to her, she was appalled by the merch fiasco and had confronted Kanye about it. Some even claimed that this incident pushed her to finally file those divorce papers, feeling she couldn't be connected to hate symbols and extremist rhetoric. But was she truly shocked, or did she see an opportunity? Leaked information from insiders suggests Bianca might have recognized the toxic publicity swirling around Kanye as the perfect chance to exit the relationship on sympathetic terms. If she divorces him right after a major controversy, the public narrative would likely favor her and label her as the wounded party escaping a volatile situation. It's a shrewd tactic, one that raises questions about who Bianca really is behind the scenes. Just when it seemed Bianca might have been blindsided by Kanye's chaos, new reports from former Yeezy employees started painting a very different picture of her character. When news outlets first identified Bianca Censori as an architect at Yeezy, most assumed she was hired for her design talent, never suspecting deeper motives. But former Yeezy employees have since come forward, sharing stories that suggest Bianca was more than just a hard-working staffer. She was, according to them, a full-fledged Kanye devotee, enthralled by his world and beliefs. These employees allege that even before she rose through the ranks, she displayed signs of serious fanaticism. Some claim she repeatedly brought up Kanye's more controversial statements in the workplace to test colleagues' loyalty, asking probing questions about politics, social issues, and even Adolf Hitler. More shocking still are the rumors that Bianca sent explicit content to people within the Yeezy organization. It's unclear why she did it. Was it a misguided attempt at shock value, or did she want to prove she was unbothered by taboos, just like Kanye seemed to be? Either way, this reportedly alienated many coworkers who found her behavior unsettling. And these accounts add another layer to the puzzle. Bianca may have wanted to be part of Kanye's life, or even manipulate it for a lot longer than the public realized. In light of these allegations, some now believe that Bianca's marriage to Kanye wasn't a spur-of-the-moment decision. Instead, it could have been the culmination of a long-held plan: ingratiate herself with Kanye, become indispensable at Yeezy, and then maneuver into his personal life. If so, that might explain why she felt confident enough to skip the prenup. Perhaps she was convinced she'd have enough leverage to secure a massive payout if things went south. But Bianca wasn't the only figure stirring the pot. Right when the divorce rumors took center stage, Kim Kardashian decided to weigh in with her own thoughts, and her perspective is raising eyebrows. While Kim Kardashian and Kanye have had their fair share of ups and downs, Kim often tries to maintain an air of neutrality in public, especially when it comes to Kanye's personal relationships. This time, however, she broke her silence to suggest that Bianca might be taking advantage of Kanye. Initially, many assumed Kim was lashing out because she was jealous of Kanye's new wife, or annoyed that her ex was publicly parading around with someone else. But soon, it became clear there was more substance to her claims. Kim apparently has reason to believe that Bianca's involvement with Kanye started well before the ink on the divorce papers dried. Sources say Kim discovered suspicious communications between Kanye and Bianca back in 2021, which led her to insist Bianca be fired from Yeezy. Then, after Kim and Kanye split, Kanye allegedly hired Bianca again, this time with even more authority within the company. Now that Bianca might be walking away with a fortune, Kim is openly suggesting that Kanye was played. Yet Kim's stance has flip-flopped in the past few months. Earlier, she seemed sympathetic to Bianca, expressing concerns that Kanye was mistreating his new wife by coercing her into wearing revealing outfits and engaging in public stunts. A source close to Kim remarked that the reality star felt compelled to warn Bianca about Kanye's controlling nature, thinking Bianca was merely following in Kim's footsteps. But with the sudden news of Bianca's grand financial demands, Kim's tone has changed. She no longer believes Bianca is just a victim. All these tangled loyalties are building to one critical question: was Bianca truly being held under Kanye's thumb, or was she carefully setting the stage for a lucrative exit all along? Long before Kanye made headlines for bizarre outfits, Nazi symbolism, and explosive rants, his marriage to Kim was already riddled with tension. Rumors about potential affairs surfaced more than once, and Bianca's name was whispered among those rumored partners. Allegedly, Kim's discovery of these messages set off a chain reaction, leading her to pressure Kanye into firing Bianca. But once Kim was no longer in the picture, Kanye apparently went back to Bianca, this time determined to flaunt their relationship in everyone's faces. Then came the wedding shocker. They got hitched, seemingly on a whim, with no legal safety nets in place. People close to Kanye say he was blinded by the desire to prove he could move on from Kim, while Bianca may have seen an opportunity to establish herself as a legitimate partner, not just a fling. Now that the relationship appears to have crumbled, that lack of a prenup is at the center of the storm. Bianca's initial request for $5 million might have seemed modest for someone married to Kanye West, given his massive net worth. But insiders have speculated that the $5 million figure was just the tip of the iceberg, an easy stepping stone to something far greater. When she refused to accept that payout, it was clear she had bigger plans. If she can substantiate claims of Kanye's outrageous behavior and persuade a court that she deserves compensation for mental or emotional distress, she might walk away with substantially more. This potential windfall has triggered skepticism about how sincere her feelings for Kanye ever were. Public sentiment is now divided. Is Bianca a trapped spouse or the architect of a cunning scheme? Let's dig deeper into whether she's truly a victim or a mastermind pulling the strings. It's easy to see why many initially assumed Bianca was another casualty of Kanye's unpredictable behavior. After all, his history is littered with controversies that overshadow those closest to him. The spectacle at the Grammys, combined with her visibly uncomfortable stance, looked like a classic case of someone being pressured. But the narrative changed once we learned about her repeated dress fittings and her alleged inquiries into dark, off-limits topics among her colleagues. Fans are torn. Some point to her consistent presence throughout Kanye's controversial moves, arguing she must have approved, or at least tolerated, his extremism. Others say that staying with him through these fiascos was the only way to ensure she could eventually exit with a big settlement. The entire situation feels eerily reminiscent of a chess game, one where Bianca used Kanye's own unpredictability and appetite for shock value against him. Could it be that Bianca found in Kanye the perfect storm, a man desperate for loyalty, prone to drastic decisions, and flush with money? If so, her meticulous planning may have been years in the making. But then again, no one can entirely predict Kanye West, and many of his public meltdowns are so extreme that they're not easily staged or manipulated. Bianca could have found herself overwhelmed in a situation that escalated faster than she anticipated. Whichever side you're on, the spotlight is now back on Kim as well, who has a front row seat to this chaos, and plenty to say. In the past, Kim has urged people to see Kanye's outbursts for what they are, signs of mental struggles that might require empathy rather than public crucifixion. Yet even she has expressed that she can't constantly swoop in to save him from his own decisions. Nevertheless, Kim has recently voiced a renewed concern for Kanye, claiming that he's surrounded by onlookers too entertained by his antics to intervene. In this latest drama, she hinted that if anyone is truly suffering, it's Kanye, because Bianca's reported demands reflect a cold, calculating approach more than a heartbreak-induced exit. The reality star's involvement in the story lends it an unusual dynamic. She's not only Kanye's ex-wife, but also a mother who shares children with him. Her motivations for speaking out could stem from genuine worry. After all, if Kanye's finances are at stake, that also impacts their children's future to some extent. Whether she's sincere in her concern or leveraging this for her own image is up for debate, but her presence has undoubtedly shifted the spotlight. Everyone now wonders if Kim is simply reminding the world that this isn't the first time Kanye has been manipulated, or if there's more to her motives than meets the eye. No matter how the legal battle pans out, the fiasco unfolding between Kanye and Bianca has turned into a cautionary tale. It's a stark reminder that nothing in Hollywood is ever as simple as it seems, and behind every sensational headline, there may be layers of plotting and emotional turmoil. From the Grammys controversy that made headlines worldwide to the rumors of a secret affair reaching back into Kanye and Kim's marriage, the relationship between Kanye West and Bianca Censori has been a roller coaster from the very beginning. On the surface, it looked like a whirlwind romance, maybe even a chance for Kanye to find new love after a high-profile split. But as each revelation peeled back another layer, it became clear that neither party fits neatly into the victim or villain box. Bianca's alleged obsession with Kanye's extreme ideas casts doubt on her innocence, while Kanye's spiraling controversies make it hard to see him as simply a pawn in someone else's game. Now that rumors suggest Bianca is poised to demand far more than $5 million without a prenup restricting her, the stakes have never been higher. Kim Kardashian's re-entry into the story further complicates matters, especially since she once portrayed Bianca as a victim and is now painting her as an opportunist. With each passing day, the drama only intensifies, leaving fans, observers, and even former Yeezy employees to speculate on what twist might come next. In the end, the biggest question might not be whether Bianca is using Kanye for money, but what deeper manipulations, personal motivations, or unhealed wounds drive everyone in this saga. Will the court of public opinion side with Bianca for standing up to Kanye's shocking stunts? Or will she be exposed as someone who orchestrated this from the start? As usual, we're left waiting for the next development, because if there's one thing everyone agrees on, it's that Kanye West's world rarely stays quiet for long. What do you think about the entire ordeal? Is Bianca another casualty of Kanye's erratic universe, or is she pulling the strings? And how does Kim's changing stance influence your perspective? Feel free to share your theories and stay tuned, because this story's not even close to over.